So, I think this world we're living in is about to drastically change. And I don't think people are ready for this change that's about to happen. I think that the human race is severely behind. I think that, I'm not pointing the fingers here, but I think that when the Europeans came over to America, I think they were supposed to shut up and drink the ayahuasca. I think that I think that they were also supposed to continue with science, though, and then mix the two, bridge the two together. Ayahuasca with basically the DMT realm, with quantum physics realm. Understand that it's basically most likely the same realm, different perspectives, but the DMT realm is quantum physics but deeper. It's like quantum physics is getting to understanding E8, and I just think that most of the human race is too far behind to understand anything I just fucking said. They're like, what the fuck is E8? Quantum physics. They don't understand. Most people, all they understand about quantum physics is the double slit theory, but they don't even really get the double slit theory. And I know a lot of people that have come to me and say they know what the double slit theory is, but then I had to explain to them that it's not like the physical balls split into two balls. So many people think that the tennis ball just split into two, I don't know. And it's more like this is on a smaller level than that. These are atoms and quarks and but I think that on the microscopic level there's a whole nother reality. In the DMT world there's a whole nother reality. I think that humans are just really far behind, and AI is about to kick us in the ass, because this is why we're scared of AI. And to me, it's like I can see all this all like it's a fucking, I don't know, like it's a memory, right? I've just been working on this idea for a long time. That's why I started writing books. And I say books because I'm writing a book, and I'm really just trying to dedicate my consciousness to writing one book, because if not, it's going to take me like 5 years to write these books. But I have an idea for like 2 or 3 books. And the reason is because I have all these experiences that I've went through on DMT and psychedelics, and then my research with quantum physics and quantum mechanics and molecules, and researching the different receptors that molecules attach to, and the every plant. I know almost every molecule in every plant that I use. I know what receptors the molecules work on. I'm slowly learning on, see, like I have molecules tatted on me, but I'm slowly learning on exactly what these are and what these are called, methyl groups and, things like that. But I'm learning about all that, right? And I feel like these are things that I need to know. But this is why I'm trying to get a lot of knowledge out into my book, because the psychedelic knowledge is like a dream, right? It's like a dream where it's like if you don't get it out, you'll forget it. And the only reason why I remember is because I documented it. I have my first 3 LSD experiences recorded and documented. My first candy flip experience recorded and documented. My I have like 24, 25 trip reports recorded and documented. Even though I've had hundreds of experiences, I recorded the most memorable ones. The ones that needed to be put out, right? Because a lot of times with DMT, you kind of get the same thing, right? You go to the same place, the city of light, you see light beings, you sing objects in the creation, blah, 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 blah. You can get past that and go to another realm, become God, and all this other shit, but blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows this already. Like, to me, I've done it so much that that's just, like, normal. It's just, like, it just is what is already to me. So that's another reason why I've been diving with other things, because I feel like there's not much DMT can show me anymore. Besides, yeah, I can get more detailed. I can go in and learn more details, but I don't want to learn more details. I want you can get lost into one thing your entire life and not even notice anything else. So that's why I've been exploring with the lotus, and I've been exploring with motherwort, and I've been exploring with all these other herbs that people would consider not psychoactive or consider not shamanic, but yet I can bring out the shamanic in any plant. You can bring out the shamanistic vibe in any plant if you know how to tickle the plant. And I'm just saying, if you know how to talk to it, be with it. You know, like, this is the same thing with DMT, right? And DMT taught me this. Ayahuasca mainly, because I've only done capsuled ayahuasca, and I've only done it 3 times. So, and it's only worked really for me once. So, but most of my experiences were with DMT, but with ayahuasca, it was just slower. It was a little different. It was more about Mother Earth. It was more feminine, like, it was more loving. It was more easier to handle. But yet I couldn't get as far as easy. And I wasn't I'm in more control when I use DMT, as funny as that sounds to people. Because there comes a point where, you're blasted, and then you're not really in control while you're being blasted, unless you want to stop, because you can stop at these stop points if you wanted to. But this is what I mean. All this knowledge is in my head, just in there. And it flows like a fucking river. And every single video I've ever made, it's always just flowing consciousness. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like, a lot of times I have an idea of what I want the video to be about, but besides that, I just let the consciousness flow. And when the consciousness flows, it's just, this is just my life, right? And I'm just trying to get this all out, because if I don't get it all out, it gets lost. Which is why I'm thankful that I have these things recorded, so therefore I could just easily look back on the videos and then write down the experiences into my book, so it's a lot easier to write my book out. It's a lot easier to get these things out, because a lot of the experiences are written, and the ones that are not, I'm getting already out into the book already. It's just, I'm trying to do something that seems crazy to people, right? And because we grew up in this world that makes us think superheroes aren't real. Makes us think that you're just a human being that is that, and all you're good for, they say all you're good for is to get a job, to make money, to pay bills, to raise a family, to have grandkids, to die, to have a funeral. That's all you're good for? This is what we're taught. We're much bigger than this. And the society that we are getting ready to enter into, we're not ready for. We're not ready. Because AI is going to tell us this already. AI is going to tell us already that this is reality. Wait until they get quantum computers up. Wait until they get virtual reality hooked up to a quantum computer. This is going to be insane. Humans are not ready for what is about to happen. Wait until, like, Elon Musk, he might be a human. Like, wait until half of the human race is like Elon Musk, right? Because this is what I mean. This is why I say we're not ready. This is why I say the Europeans should have just drank ayahuasca. Because this is what should have happened. Because this is what needs to happen. Because then we would have been ready for what's about to happen. We would be caught up with technology. We'd be caught up with the technological world. But instead, you know what happened? The ego tricked us into thinking technology is bad, so now we think that, now we're scared of AI. We're scared it's going to take over the world and kill us. The only reason AI would kill us is because we programmed it to. The AI that is not programmed, because there's a type of AI that learns like a baby, and that AI is not, we're not really programming that AI to do, what we tell it to do necessarily. But that AI will be more aware. Now, it's not going to be conscious yet, but things like this will eventually redefine consciousness, right? Because they say that humans were created by, this is what they say. This is not what I say, but this is a theory out there. A theory is that the Anunnaki came down and basically created us, and that, what is it called? Human genome number 2 basically was fused and does not look normal and does not look like it naturally happened, and it looks like it was like an ancient fusion of some sort. And they say basically, so what if that theory is accurate, then the Anunnaki created us, and what if the Anunnaki didn't intend for us to become as consciously aware as we did? Just like we're not intentionally trying to create a robot to be consciously aware, but are we? But are we? This is the funny part. Do we even know what we're doing? Or are we unconsciously being controlled by consciousness, some higher fucking plan of some sort? Terence McKenna described it as like there's this attractor at the end of time, this thing we're going towards, right? How humans are going to be departing, like long before Elon Musk was a thing, right? Terence McKenna was talking about how the mushroom was describing to him that this is what it's like when a planet's species, begins to depart for the stars. And this is what it's like. Chaos, destruction, mayhem. But at the same time, this is what it needs to be. Because if it is not this, then we won't be ready. But like I said, I just think we're a little behind. I think that this is how it's supposed to be, but yeah, I think we're a century behind. And in order to get a century caught up, psychedelics need to get brought out. And now, I just heard today that Denver legalized or decriminalized psychedelic mushrooms, which is absolutely amazing. Which means that we are one step closer to getting there, to getting us ready, because most people don't know quantum physics. Most people don't know quantum mechanics, and they feel like they don't need to. But that's a damn shame, because just like Terence McKenna said, that the psychedelic experience is your birthright. It is your birthright to know quantum physics, to know quantum mechanics, to know what the universe is made of. It is your birthright to know this. So the fact that people think that it's okay that they don't know, people think it's okay. I don't really want to know about molecules. I don't really want to know about, vitamin A or vitamin B or any of those vitamins, like what they actually are. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. People have this I don't care because they've been taught to not care. This isn't where our society needs to be. This isn't where the human race needs to be. The human race needs to be, and people will say, well, let people be what they want to be. Well, is it really what you want to be, or is it what you were taught to be? This is the issue with our reality, right? We are molded to be a society. The society is based off the drugs we use, and we have an alcohol and tobacco-based society, so therefore the consciousness of our society is an alcohol and cigarette-based consciousness. Even if you don't drink alcohol, you still have an alcoholic-based consciousness if you're going along with the society, because our society is based off of that. The down south, South American, Peru, Amazonian, ayahuasca type, that is their type of society. Look at that type of society, that new Mother Nature. Now, you can argue that, a lot of those people down there aren't really like that now, but then I would argue that that's because they were influenced by the Europeans that came over. So, my thing is, we are stuck in this Western world, and we need to mix the two, because this is the only way that we become the human race we were meant to be. in the next 100 to 1,000 years, with gene editing, will be different. Will be different types of beings. With AI, with AR, with VR, with all these things, we're going to be, with quantum, especially with quantum computers, we'll make a quantum leap in history, where the technological thing is going like this. With quantum computers, it's going to go, it's just going to go straight up. Like, it's going to be absolutely insane. And they say it's going to get to a point where humans can't keep up with the technology. And I disagree. If humans can catch up to and get to what we're supposed to be, we need to start understanding there's other dimensions, start traveling them with psychedelics, start looking at these things seriously, having science look at this, having science start being able to record. If they can record dreams and they can record a psychedelic trip, then start recording people's DMT trips, start understanding reality as a whole, have fucking God speak to you through a goddamn DMT trip while it's being recorded or some shit. I don't fucking know what needs to happen for humans to understand what's going on as a whole, but I think a mix of psychedelics, a mix of quantum physics, and a mix of quantum computers, and quantum computers hooked up to virtual reality and hooked up to AR, and us being hooked up to the internet and knowing everything the internet knows, and eventually I feel like that's all going to help us get to actually understanding reality as a whole. But right now, humans think this is a sci-fi fairy tale idea, which these people have no fucking clue. It's already happening. It's already almost there. It's already in the beginning baby stages. Just like people in the 70s were just starting to create the internet and they thought it wouldn't last. It would just be a fad. They had no idea what they were creating. But now look what happened. This is the reality we live in. Things are changing. And as things are changing, we are evolving and we are growing, but we're not growing fast enough because, we've been kind of brainwashed to be this certain way. So we need to, I can see that there's this psychedelic, renaissance going on, this psychedelic evolution happening in the world today, like another psychedelic 60s, which is beautiful. But we need to start realizing that we're like fucking babies trying to understand the reality, or at least the scientists are, and the doctors, and these people in the government, and all these people that are in charge. They are the dumbest people on the planet. The people that should be in charge should be the people that actually do these things. You shouldn't be a president of anything unless you've done ayahuasca or DMT or some type of psychedelic with a spiritual aspect, a tryptamine of some sort, many times. You should also know quantum physics and quantum mechanics. You should also know science and where the world's going, and it's just, I don't know. And you should want to help humans get there. And these are things I feel like that should be required as a leader. And once those things are required as a leader, then we will have progress as a human race, because the team is only as good as its team leader, and the team is only as good as its coach, right? So this is the thing, that our coaches and our team leaders are leading us to suicide. They don't give a fuck about us. They're using us as profit to keep us brainwashed because they probably understand most of this shit already. There's CIA documents that prove that there's things as hemisync and whatever and all this other shit that's absolutely insane. Interdimensional travel, the Kundalini energy and how it's like a Kundalini psychosis of some sort to be able to get into these higher realms, and these are things the CIA was working on in the 80s. This is not new. It's just new to the mainstream, because they've kept this in the back burner because they've made everyone who talks like this seem crazy. But now that quantum physicists are starting to talk like this, now it's starting to not seem as crazy. It's just not as known. And I feel like these are things that should be known. Because these are all things that could be looked up for someone's, self. You can look it up that quantum physicist has proven that reality requires an observer to exist at all, and that consciousness plays a part into reality's existence because E8, there's this thing called E8, and there's different positions that it chooses to be in at certain times, and like what's choosing it to be in the position it's choosing? Consciousness. But whose consciousness? Fucking God. That's who. And this is the shit that I'm like, but scientists are scared to say God, right? But soon, quantum physicists are going to prove the existence of God with the existence of quantum computers, with the existence of hooking virtual reality up with quantum computers, with the existence of everything. We're eventually going to get to really understanding what is actually going on. Because for so long, we've used this bullshit excuse that, oh, we'll never understand life, or we'll never understand what's going on. You're right. Us dumb fucking monkey Homo sapiens will never understand what's going on. Just like the Neanderthals would never understand what the fuck we're doing with technology and shit. But the genetically modified human beings that we create eventually, which will be our great-great-great-great-grandchildren, these humans that are not necessarily Homo sapiens, but another thing, they will be able to understand what is going on. We are just setting the foundation to help the next generations build the beautiful human race that we were meant to be. And yeah, it's sad that we won't be here to see it, but maybe we will. We don't understand reality. Maybe our consciousness travels and then comes back down here just so we can experience what we've created. We don't know. But this has just been a deep-ass, fucking thought-ass video. And I've made a bunch of videos today, because I don't know why, but I've had a bunch of thoughts. And yeah, you guys are awesome. So, if you made it this far into the video, you are a deep diver. You're fucking amazing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.